Hey everyone, welcome to the Breakthrough Entrepreneurs podcast, where we empower both new and experienced entrepreneurs, high performance business owners to overcome the challenge of work-life balance, break bad, old, unhealthy, negative habits and behaviors, and build new habits, new rituals, new routines. I'm your host, Muhammad Faraj, and today our topic is build a structure for your habits. You see, so many successful people, so many successful entrepreneurs, they succeed in their entrepreneurial journey because they follow a structure. So it's their structure, it's their process that enables them to make progress, to grow their business, to scale their business, and achieve success. Mostly because they have built a structure, and so often those successful entrepreneurs, they have teams, they have built a team for themselves. So it's their teams that helps them to build and maintain this structure, so they run this structure automatically in their entrepreneurial journey. That's why they make progress. That's why they can scale their businesses. That's why they can network and build even more businesses, more companies, because they follow a structure. You see, the benefits of a structure is that you are motivated, you are focused, you have a clear plan, you have a clear process to what to do, what to be working on, how to do things. You see, those people, they follow a structure, and their teams help them to maintain the structure, to follow the structure. So for example, every company follows a structure to work on their business, to grow their business, to do meetings, conferences, to invest, or to follow a specific time management schedule where they book time for meetings, conferences, or travels, or investments. So they follow a structure. So you need to apply the same thing in your entrepreneurial life too, if you want to remain productive, if you want to remain focused, if you want to prevent bad habits, behaviors from creeping in and waste your time, waste opportunities, waste so many chances in your life. So when you're not following a structure, and the consequences of not following a structure is that you don't have clarity, you're not motivated, you don't know what to do, what to be working on. So the bad habits, they run in autopilot mode in your life, so that way they prevent you from making progress, from feeling stuck of where you're at. So when you don't have structure, it's easy to go back, to fall back to your old bad habits, because you're not motivated, because you're not crystal clear about the tasks, about the projects that you need to be working on. So that way you will feel overwhelmed, stressed, and not have enough clarity to what to be working on, or what goals you are working towards to achieve. So having a structure is very beneficial. So you need to build a structure. You need to know every day how your structure looks like. What are you going to do? What are you going to be working on? How are you going to be productive? What habits you need to build in your structure that will enable you to do the work, to grow your business, to make progress, so you know you are on the right direction, on the right track. You know that in 1 month, in 6 months, in a year, you know what goals you are working toward to achieve. You know where you are going to end up in a year or 2 years. So following a structure is very game changer. Every successful entrepreneur, they follow a structure. For example, they have their team that helps them to stay and remain in the structure. So their teams, they schedule times for meetings, for live, for Q&A, for conferences, for productivity, for projects, for travels, for sales calls. So their teams, they schedule their time. Their teams, they plan all their tasks, all their projects. So they have a crystal clear plan for their structure, for their day, for on what to be working on. So some entrepreneurs, they even build systems, like their teams, they help them build system where they don't go on social media during the day. So their teams, they log out from their social media accounts and they hold their passwords. So the business owner or the entrepreneur can't or won't have any access to their social media accounts or to their emails. So their teams have to send them a new code or the login information for them to access their account. So that way they're maintaining good habits, productive habits, because they need to be focused on working on their projects, on what is important. So that way their teams, they organize, they plan their day, so they know what they are doing and they maintain good habits. Because it's a very big mistake for any entrepreneur to get distracted so easily and avoid from doing the hard work, the tasks, the projects that moves the needle, and going on social media. Or your brain doesn't want to be productive, doesn't want to focus, doesn't want to do the work. So their teams have control on the structure. Their teams know what time they're going to check emails. And so often, even entrepreneurs, they have their employers, their teams where they check emails, they answer emails, they check their boxes, email boxes. So those entrepreneurs don't need to do all this work. They have people who does this for them. So instead of wasting or consuming so much time on irrelevant or not necessary, not important tasks, so their teams do the unimportant tasks, and the entrepreneurs, they focus on the most important tasks, or the ones that we say usually that moves the needle. So those successful entrepreneurs, they delegate their tasks or unimportant projects, or checking emails, or checking social media, or answering people on social media or on phone calls, to their teams. So they follow their structure. So it's very important that you build a structure. When you wake up every day in the morning, especially during the work days, what habits you're going to perform, what tasks, what projects, your to-do list, what to be working on, where you're going to focus your time, your energy. And one of the best benefits of following a structure is that you are guaranteed that you're going to eat healthy, that you're going to be productive, that you're going to be focused, that you're going to be active in training, in moving your body. So you have a clear structure that you need to follow, a clear structure that contains 2 routines, morning routine and evening routines, and healthy eating and fitness rituals. So a structure can be built, a system can be built in your life if you just plan, if you just decide on the habits that you're going to add it in your structure. So you know how you're going to start your day, and you know how you're going to end your day. So the other benefits about following structure is that all negative thoughts, emotions, or self-doubts will disappear when you follow a structure, because You know you are doing the work. You know you have work hours. You know you are making progress. You know where you're working toward. So following a structure guarantees that you are doing a good work. You are moving forward toward your goals, your dreams. So you're not just joking, you're not just faking or acting or lying to yourself. You're following a structure and you have a proof for yourself that you're doing the work, that you're making progress. So all negative thoughts, self-doubts, I promise you they will disappear later in the long term. So you will feel much relaxed, much relieved about your entrepreneurial life and not feeling worried about what's going to happen in the future, all that. So the other thing I wanted to mention about following a structure is that you're giving up your body some rest, some relaxing, so you don't end up feeling burnout. Because so many entrepreneurs, they make the mistake that, oh, I'm going to work 24 hours each day, or I'm going to work every day, all day, every week, just to make progress, just to get results, which is very, very wrong. I made this mistake before and I'm guilty of it. So when you follow a structure, you don't end up feeling burnout. You don't end up being in the, what is it called, hamster wheel. So you're not feeling stuck. You're not feeling stagnation. So you're doing the work. You're doing good habits. You're breaking your bad old habits. But at the same time, you're giving your body relaxation. You need to take rest. You need to enjoy your time with your family, with your friends, with the loved ones. So you can have a balance. You can maintain a balance between work and personal life. So that way you don't end up being burnout or tired, exhausted, or feeling fatigued so often because of overworking, because you put so much pressure on your body, on your health. You avoid yourself from going to the gym or spend time with the loved ones. So that way you end up with failure. You end up making mistakes. You end up feeling stuck. You don't grow. You don't progress. You don't move forward in your entrepreneurial life. So when you follow a good, organized, planned structure, then later at the day or in some days or during the weekend, you have time to go out, enjoy life, to have fun, to visit churches, to visit places like nature places or nature environments. You're giving your time to spend time with friends, with people that you love, that you enjoy with, that you feel so happy when you come back home. You feel rejuvenated, you feel activated because you've been out. You met some nice, good, positive people that you are grateful of having them in your life. So when you come back home, you feel happy, motivated, energized, and ready to start working the next day. So it's very, very important, and I promise you this is a game changer to have a structure. You need to plan your structure. You need to schedule your habits, what habits you're going to do, what habits you're going to perform. Don't schedule only work, tasks, or projects. You need to schedule your fitness, your relaxation, your resting, your productivity, your time enjoyment with your loved ones, with your family. You need to plan, schedule all that, not only your projects and tasks. Because if you schedule only projects and tasks, you will end up feeling stuck, stagnant, and end up in the hamster wheel, which we don't want that. We want you to be happy, to be successful in your life. That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed watching or listening to this episode or to this content, and I am doing my best to help you achieve success, to break through in your entrepreneurial life, to make your goals and dreams come true. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I can't wait to publish a new episode to make a transformation in your entrepreneurial life. Bye everyone.